everybody, it's your girl, the organic urban gardener here, coming to you live from Elizabeth, New Jersey in my little urban garden. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make your own compost bin. So I made one back in September and it's already full, which is amazing. Look at the sun, such a beautiful day. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it. You don't need that many things. You'll just need a bin. I bought mine at Home Depot. You will need a power tool so you can drill some holes in it. You'll need of course your materials, your nitrogen, which you're going to compost, which are your kitchen scraps, and your carbon, which is your cardboard, newspaper, leaves, all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. So what is compost and why should you do it? Well, compost is basically organic material that decomposes. Basically what happens to our bodies when we die. We decompose and we go back to earth. This is a natural process that's so beautiful and has so many benefits. So when we feed the compost back to our plants, we're giving them nutrients. It acts as a fertilizer. It acts as a, like an organic pesticide in a way. And also not just good for your plants, but it's good for the earth. So when you compost and when you save your kitchen scraps, you are helping eliminate waste from landfills, which is reducing emissions, which is super good for the earth. And you don't need a garden to compost. There are also some organizations that encourage you to save and bring in your kitchen scraps, and they'll do the composting for you. If none of that sounds good to you, you could just compost it and I guess leave it at some random tree, because I'm sure the tree would appreciate it. I'm out here repping my Ron Finleys merch, Renegade Gardener. If you don't know who he is, check him out. That man is amazing. He's gold. He's doing everything that I want to do. And yeah, I'm gonna drop some links to him below too. So let's get started. The first compost bin that I made back in September. It got pretty full pretty quick. Let me show you guys what it looks like right now. My old bin, and here's my new bin. My new bin looks actually a little bit bigger than this one, but let's look at the good stuff. The compost. So it's been kind of cold and it's feeling frozen actually. And it is like the beginning of January, so I want you guys to get a good look at. Actually, I added some new stuff in there just recently, so let's try to find a spot. Let me see. No, I'm just gonna go in and grab. This is what it's looking like. I slowly was adding to this, so the top layer probably added about a couple weeks ago. The bottom is where the good stuff is at, but it's really cold and a little bit frozen. So what I'm gonna do is just throw some water in this baby and close it back up. Here's what we're working with. I bought this bin yesterday at the Home Depot. We're gonna drill some holes in the top like this because it is crucial that your compost has a way to get air. So here I made a hole there, and I drilled a whole bunch at the bottom too. So we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing for this new bin. Ooh, look at all that compost I have. This is months and months, not really months and months, maybe about a month's worth because I juice a lot. So we have pulp, blueberries, zucchini, carrots, kale, all types of good stuff in here. Okay, so we're gonna drill our holes on our top first. Shout out to Elizabeth for providing the soundtrack. So we're gonna use this. I added a drill bit, which makes holes a lot easier to make. So we got the top done. Just drilled a whole bunch of holes all over, and now we're gonna do this part. Ooh, and look at my sticker. I put the Ron Finleys sticker here. I love that man so much. Okay, so for the inside, I'm just gonna drill holes along the side like this for proper drainage, because you don't want your compost to stay wet. I mean, it is supposed to stay wet, but not too wet, because then it gets gross. So we're just gonna make a few holes around the side. Okay, so I made a few all around the edge, and then I added a few more just because this bin is bigger than the other one, and I added a little hole on each side of the side of the bin too. Okay, so now is the really fun part where we're gonna start filling our bin. So the first thing I'm gonna add are these twigs that I got at my local park. And the reason for the twigs at the bottom is because they're gonna help with the airflow. So I'm gonna change my camera angle so you guys can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it, and I'll keep on explaining. So I usually like to have more sticks than this, but I really couldn't find that many, so I'll just throw those in there like so. It's usually better when they're like more branchier, but that's okay. First step. Second step, we're gonna add some of our carbon. We're gonna layer some of that down. So you wanna make sure that your floor is completely covered. Next, we're gonna add our kitchen scraps. And I have a whole lot because it's been a couple of weeks that I've been saving this in the freezer. So the way you're gonna add it is you're gonna basically layer it on like a lasagna. So one layer of this, a thin layer of this, and another layer of that. So we're gonna build it like that. I think I'm gonna switch the camera angle while I do this. Nah, just kidding. We'll keep it like this so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So we're gonna spread it out. I also have my neem powder, which is over here. And this stuff is super good. It's a natural pesticide. We're gonna add that on top of there too. So in between each layer, I'll just sprinkle some neem. And we're gonna keep building like that until it's all the way full. Okay, and this is our last layer. Throwing some neem in between each layer. Then once this is all covered, the final step is to water it in. And so for healthy compost, your ideal ratio should be 2:1 of the carbon to nitrogen. I'm gonna need some more carbon, so probably tomorrow I'm gonna add some more. I'll just rip up some more paper bags or whatever I have upstairs, and I'll add some more. And we are ready for the final step, which is watering it in. So let me go fill up my a little watering can, and I'll be right back with you guys. And that's it. It's super simple, so good for the environment, so good for your plants, for your trees. It's just a beautiful thing that you could do. Sorry, there's some guy fixing the house next door and he's like looking at me, and I always get awkward when people are looking at me. But also, guess who came to the garden? My little stray cat came in. So I take care of him. Usually he's with me most of the day, but sometimes he likes to go out. And somehow he always knows when I'm back here in the garden, and he comes. So cute. Anyway, thank you guys. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. Peace, love, and plants.